The following program contains scenes and language of a frank and explicit nature. Discretion is advised.
Okay, Dan, you ready?
I guess. How you doing?
Program. Rareform Radio. I can't, you know what? Just start. I can't get used to this. Can you?
I'm trying to. It's not as good, but we gotta do what we gotta do. You know, Zoom is just what it is now.
We definitely got to do what we got to do, and the thing that I feel like, because I FaceTime on my phone all the time, but I'm not a laptop or a desktop FaceTimer. I don't sit in the office, hey, and have a conversation. It's always, up
the nose, sure.
Yeah. I'm always doing that. So there's something about this that feels like you should be taking your clothes off. Like, I feel like I'm doing something wrong.
I mean, if that's what we gotta do, that's what we gotta do.
I feel like this should be dirtier.
Yeah, I mean, we're basically, like, Rareform has become a show of webcam girls doing their best.
Yeah, and neither of us are girls, and it's kind of...
awesome?
Disheartening. No.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's not great. It's not great.
So, how have you been the past few days?
Just staying safe, you know, hanging in there.
I had somebody, I had a few people actually purposely Instagram message me, stay safe. I had a few people who agreed with me, like, can't fucking deal.
Right.
But, and I also had some, just a few minutes ago while I was waiting for you to get your shit together. I had some jerk off on my Instagram sent me a DM saying, hey, how come Dave took his Instagram down? And I looked at it, and it wasn't the same jerk off from last week. But the guy who did it the first time had like some photography thing as his, like, whatever photography, you know, flowing winds photography or whatever. And this guy did too, not the same one, but also that. So I have a feeling that they're in cahoots.
Oh shit!
So I just blocked them. I didn't even fucking.
They got blocked for that.
Oh yeah, fuck that. You fucking dude, leave the fucking comedy to me. Don't try and be funny back at me over something that you saw me get pissed off at.
Oh, you think he was kidding? You think he was fucking with you from hearing the show last week?
I think it was someone that's either friends with that guy or someone who saw the show and is trying to fuck with me to be funny. And if we're together and I know you, I'm all for fucking with you. If I don't know who you are, I'm just going to block you.
So you think this fucking clown was in with Brent?
Oh, is that? Yeah, Brent. That was his name. See, I can't even remember what the names are.
I mean, the name's Brent. What do you expect from the guy?
Brent.
There's no way he's going to have, like, just a cool life.
Yeah, so I did a little blocking this week. He wasn't the only one.
Does a week go by that you don't block someone?
Yeah, because there's a week goes by that I'm not really on, you know, or at least not. A lot of times I have messages and I don't look at them either until, like, I'll look and see, you know how the little one will come on, 2, 3, however messages you have in that little corner, and I'll open it and see the readout of it, but I don't open the message yet. There's only certain people that I talk to all the time.
Uh-huh.
And then I forget that it's not because I'm being a dick or anything. I just forget that they're there.
Yeah.
Once I do that step, that little number goes away. So anyway,
I hear you. Did you watch that clip I sent you earlier?
I did. I just watched it.
Okay, so
Thank God you took the time you took, because I had no time up until then to watch it, and I was like, I'm just gonna ask him what the guy fucking said, but because you were like, give me a couple more minutes, I was like, all right, I'll watch it right now. So I just watched it.
So what we're talking about is Elon Musk was on Joe Rogan yesterday. And Joe Rogan does great interviews. Elon's been on there before. First of all, what are your thoughts on Elon Musk? Do you have an opinion?
I don't. I mean, he doesn't bother me. I think on one hand, I think he does some cool shit. When I go outside on a random night and I'm not prepared for it, and I see some like in the sky, and you think an alien attack is coming, and then immediately pops into your conscious, oh, it's probably an Elon Musk thing, you know? And I've taken pictures of it. I've seen it a couple of times. What is that rocket that he's
SpaceX, but what there was a name for the actual rocket.
Yeah, whatever it is. Like, I've seen it. Happenstance. Didn't know it was coming and was like, what the fuck?
If you don't know, it's fucking crazy as hell. It looks like something like an alien is punching through a wormhole and entering our dimension in front of your eyes.
So, in that respect, I think that's cool. Like, this guy does shit like that. He's got fucking more money than, than God at this point. And he can do shit like that, and he does. And I think it's cool. On the other hand, I also think he's a complete fucking eccentric whack job. But do I think he's an inherently evil guy? No. When you listen to him talk, he's well versed and everything, but he sounds like a regular guy. I don't see the hint of craziness so much as you think you would with a guy like that.
I feel like he's autistic. I think that his...
Oh, yeah, 100%.
He has a very strange pacing to his words, and you ask him a question, and most people, when you ask a question, like when you're quiet thinking about it, it's uncomfortable to have that kind of silence.
Right.
He'll take 10 or 15 seconds to like think about what he wants to say, which more people...
Yeah, I was just going to say he does something that most people don't. He thinks.
Thinks before he speaks.
Yeah. He's interesting. I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan.
Mm-hmm.
But there are people who are in his position who I think are totally fucking whack jobs and evil.
Like who?
Bill Gates.
Yeah. Do you think he's evil? You do.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we're going to get into that a little bit later. But Elon Musk was on Rogan, and one of the things he was talking about was this neural net thing that he's working on, which is basically a computer implant for your brain.
Yeah.
And what he's trying to do with it is to make people that can't walk instantly. Like you connect this thing and now you can walk. Or people that are blind, even when they have optic nerve damage, like give them sight, give deaf people hearing.
Basically, the way, from what I understand, from what I just watched of how it works, is like any impairment that you have that functions from the brain, meaning that it's a problem that's in your brain that has given you the ability, like not like, oh, my spine was severed necessarily.
It's an electrical misfire.
Right. That you could be cured instantly, and you can gain intelligence, all kinds of shit. Now, when someone like him says it, I'm like, interesting, little whack jobby, little seen the Matrix too many times kind of vibe for me. But like when other people say shit like that, I think ulterior motive, you're fucking evil. I don't get that from him.
Yeah,
it's just I'm completely not well versed. I'm making complete judgment based on my own non-informed brain of just like looking through the eyes, always in the eyes.
But you're also a pretty good judge of character. So I would imagine your bullshit meter would probably go off if you saw him talk. Maybe.
It's all I base it on. Not even like you could blast me with a bunch of Elon Musk bad facts, Bill Gates great facts, Trump bad facts, Obama bad facts, Trump good facts. I won't listen. I won't take any of that into consideration. I'll just base it on what I think about the person, vibe wise.
Yeah. So in that clip, he's also talking about like after they spend the first couple like levels of this neural net, phase 1 and 2. Once they cure people, they want to start doing like full brain interfaces where he basically says at a certain point, relatively soon, there'll be no need for spoken language.
Yeah, you won't need to talk.
And he said that they think they can do that within 5 years.
Yeah, he said 5 years. He goes 10 realistically, just to hedge his bet, but he's like they could in 5 years.
But even 10, that is so fucking soon.
The thing that's interesting about him to me is like he takes science fiction stuff that we've seen, like artificial intelligence in films and in movies and shit like that. And he's like, yeah, we could do that. Like, let's do that.
Things that we just throw aside as science fiction. He's like, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we could do that. And you could also, the thing that was interesting that I thought that he was talking about was you could realistically like boot up an old version of your brain. Like you could preserve, he made the, without just reiterating and redoing that interview in that sense, he said something to Joe Rogan where he was like, you're not the same person you were 5 years ago. So we could take that 5 year ago brain and like pause it and preserve it like on a drive and then boot it back up and you could be that 5 year ago person again.
Yeah, he was saying shit like comparing your telephone, like you take a photograph from 20 years ago, that photograph is still perfect. So basically, once you get this neural net, every single thing you experience, the feelings, the views, the smells, everything will be in a safe space in your brain. So you can reboot the memory of losing your virginity and you will like relive it again. As horrible as it was, you can relive that again. Are you into this idea or do you think it's bad? Would you do it? Are you intrigued? No. Is it immoral?
I don't think it's immoral if people want to do it.
Well, people want to fuck kids. That's pretty immoral.
No, but I'm saying in the sense that if you take it a step further, as long as nobody's getting hurt by it, but that's the danger. If you go in that direction, the whole world kind of needs to follow or they get left behind.
Right.
So like if 20 people want to do it and just lose their power of communicating, not their power, like, because he was saying like, yeah, you can go offline for old times for sentimental value and talk to someone. Right. Like Joe Rogan was asking great questions like, well, what about like facial expressions and this and that, and blah, 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 sarcasm? How do you replicate that? But I don't know. I mean, I have no interest in doing something like that.
You don't? Okay, I definitely do.
I don't. I mean, maybe it's the difference of a decade in our age or something. Like, I'm just like, I'm close to dead anyway. What do I care?
What about the idea of like talking about saving your brain like it's a video game and then putting it in another body at some point where like you'll be a little bit different, you'll look a little bit different, but you'll just pick up your experience and move on in another body.
That's digital reincarnation.
Right.
I was here once. What do I need to be here again for?
God, you're like the most grandpa guy that doesn't have grandkids.
But you know what I'm saying? Like, I
do.
It would be cool to see, but I don't want to be able to put it this way. It would be cool to see, but then to turn around and be like, oh my God, did you see how fucking crazy that was? I don't want to do this. And send the thought to you. Like, you're
communicating.
I think you lose personality.
Yes.
Look, if this is the direction that the human race is heading in, and it's all gonna be that way, that's all well and good. But like, I didn't grow up in my formulative years in a digital computer world. I used a fucking rotary phone when I was a kid. If you called someone and they were on the other phone, it was busy. You just had to keep calling for an hour until they got off.
Or ride your bike over and be like, what's going on over here?
Yeah, or ride your bike or go talk to people or whatever. And like maybe kids that are born now will be more accepting of that move forward. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But I'm just not. I just, you know, I'm just not. It's weird.
It's weird that like your daughter might be able to have a neural net processor before she's able to vote legally.
Yeah.
It's crazy shit.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think if everybody was on the same intellectual and financial level as a person like that, it might be a different story. But human beings are just too, on the whole, are just too fucking stupid for it not to go wrong. You know, look at it this way. Someone somewhere was tinkering around with some fucking virus, whether it was for the greater good of man or to destroy man, and look where we're at now.
Right.
Because that's what fucking happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
right.
However that happened, that's how it happened. Do you know what I mean? So It's like the irresponsibility of maybe others. You know what I mean? I just think it's fucking, like, slow down. Smell the fucking roses a little bit instead of figuring out how they smell because it's a drive implanted in your fucking brain. Because it is they're even talking about the Matrix. Like, yeah, it would be like a program that you insert into, you know, the interview starts with, well, they cut a chunk of your skull out and put these things in, and then they put that back on, which is exactly what they do in the Matrix. They fucking gouge a hole and plug them in. And that's what he's talking about. That's what he's talking about, the evolution leading to. So, I don't know, man.
It's wild. Having like a battery pack and shit back there and everything.
Yeah.
I'm into it.
But that's also, all right, so if you're talking about curing things, eventually what's the end game? The end game is to extend the life. As long as possible, right? So you're not dying of ailments, you're not dying of the body breaking down from the brain's point of view.
Get rid of dementia and Alzheimer's and all that shit.
Okay. So when do you cut off the population? Because now you're going to have people who were supposed to die in their 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s living for 200, 300, 400 years because their brain doesn't know to die because it's running digitally.
So now you touched on something that I've been meaning to bring up for weeks. So this is a very nice segue. You know how like AI in general is getting better and better and better. And so is the quality of sex dolls. So eventually, in not too long, I imagine there's going to be somewhat sentient love dolls where you can make your perfect woman or man, whatever you want. So if you can make a machine that you can fuck that will also clean and do everything that you don't want to do, what will be the point of finding a real life mate?
Right, especially without having to beat it into that kind of thing.
That's what I'm saying. You can save your knuckles too. It's a win-win, really. But like men and women both will have incentive to spend, $30,000 on this lifelike robot that does whatever you want. So there really won't be much need to like find a mate who you'll disagree with, who will have different opinions. And once that starts happening, procreating and children, I don't think will be a thing at some point, or at least that's what I'm saying.
Right. But if the human experience is supposed to be, take religion out of it completely, but if the human species, the animal, which almost every animal on this planet, what's their mission? To procreate and die, procreate and die, procreate and die. If we take that out of the human experience, I don't know what that's going to fucking look like.
I think it'll lead eventually to no more humans, or very small populations of humans, and just tons and tons of eventually robots with loose pussies just wandering the earth.
80s science fiction movie is about.
Right, but we're talking about like sci-fi becoming reality. I do think that will become a thing in the not too distant future.
I think it's more distant than he makes it.
No, I'm not talking Eli. I'm talking like relatively lifelike sexual.
Eli Manning?
Yes.
His name's Elon, you know that,
yes.
right?
Oh, did I say Eli?
I
did?
So in love with those Mannings.
Don't even start with me. Okay. Yeah, I think the sex robots is sooner than we think.
See, it's so funny how I'm talking about the human experience and thought and smashing the ego out of humanity and the purpose for drive, and you're just going, yeah, I think sex robots are very close in our future.
It tells you where I'm at in this quarantine. I need them now.
Robots. That's fucking hilarious.
I'd do it. If you get one, like make one to order that looks exactly how you want. Look, I would make one that looks like your wife, and do what I got to do.
Why? It would just reject you, though.
No. I program it.
You'd put it in, and it would say user error.
It wouldn't have your wife's shitty personality.
Instead of 404 file not found, it would say 404 penis not found.
Okay, all right.
Oh my god, my wife likes them big, bro.
Well, maybe it's not for me then. Hey, is speaking of her, she's staying safe?
It's horrible because we have no income coming in because she can't get on the rickshaw and make money
and drag those tourists around. I'm so tired, dude. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know why you wanted to do this tonight. I don't know why I agreed. I agree.
For everyone listening, the show's gotten to a point where I have to beg Todd to do it. And I don't know why I do it either. I'm just so tired. I feel like, you know why? I'll tell you why. Because the shows that I listen to, the Rogans and the Sterns, they're doing it, and it does help me forget how fucking awful everything is.
Yeah.
So the fact that we can do that for 6-7 people, yeah, it means a lot to me.
The reason why I've been doing it and why we're doing 2 this week, I mean, I know there was like a
fuck up, yeah.
Yeah, we've had a fuck up, so we did 2 this week. But like the reason why I say yes to you is because I feel bad for you. And I don't want to disappoint you.
So the problem with our radio shows has always been me.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, cool. Now I know.
If you're thinking common denominator.
I guess
maybe
it is.
You should get that implant and we can streamline you. This way you're just
to be someone that someone wants to spend time with.
No, so that's what I'm saying is I want to spend time with you. I feel bad. So like that's why I say, yeah, I'm gonna do the show. I could just FaceTime you also. We could have this Elon Musk conversation and it would be way more interesting to each other than to the 3 people watching right now.
All right, let's wrap it up then. Thanks for listening, everybody. This is our last show again.
What else
so
we got there?
We had
let's get off that.
Someone guessed your shirt. Someone on Twitter got the shirt correct.
Who was it? Because I saw there was like a YouTube comment too.
There was a couple responses, but the first one was on Twitter, I believe.
Gotcha.
So I forget who that was, but whoever you are, we'll send you a T-shirt or some shit.
I should have done that again tonight.
Yeah, you should have.
I have a ton of swag that just movies obscure.
If there was ever a movie in the 80s that had clothes in it, Todd has a piece from it.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe now that I've lost a little weight, maybe I'll wear the Warriors vest next time.
That would be good. Or the Cobra Kai gi.
I know. I have to do the show standing up then because I don't want to cut the bottom half off because I got the pants with the patches too.
Just get one of those headset mics and just stand in the background.
Tony Robbins style.
Yes. Oh my God. You sent me a video last week that Frank is going to put in here right now, but of that monkey.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is they talked about it Elon Musk knows that video. That's what makes me like him, because he knows that video.
Yeah.
So explain what the video.
You describe it. You sent it to me.
All right, so someone sent me a video, and immediately I saw it in a bunch of places, like right after this person sent it to me. So it's obviously went viral. But it's this, I don't know where, was that Thailand or where,
Probably
some country where monkeys are free to roam. But this monkey riding a bicycle,
a motorcycle.
Monkey.
It was a motorcycle.
A monkey-made motorcycle, though, because it was like this big.
Little, yeah. It was a tiny motorcycle.
He fucking streamlines for this child amongst a few other people too, and singles out this child.
The littlest one.
Ditches the bike, comes up, he ditches the bike and grabs the littlest one and pulls by the arm and lets go, and then pulls it again and drags it like halfway down the fucking street. People start yelling and chase it away. But like, that monkey tried to abduct that child.
So I watched it a bunch, and it's one of those small monkeys, like a spider monkey type thing. And it drags this toddler, I don't know, 50, 100 feet down a cobblestone street.
Strong spider monkey.
That's how they work. But if you look at it, I think while it's dragging her, it's also biting her head. So the idea might be is that maybe because of what's going on, these animals are getting hungrier and hungrier. So it might have been trying to take her to eat her.
Right.
So
my mind went to a different place, but no, I'm being serious.
What were you thinking?
My mind, when the first few times, because I watched it like 40 times.
It's amazing.
It's like, I can't believe this. This is the best thing that's ever happened in quarantine. My mind went to, you know how they train monkeys to do shit, like organ grinders and hold out a cup and dance for the thing, or like
pickpocket. Yep.
Pickpocket, or like in The Hangover 2, the drug courier or whatever. You know, they're trainable. You know, my mind went to, they were trying to abduct a child, whether it be for sex trafficking or for ransom or for whatever reason to abduct a child. But I felt like there were guys, you know, down the street or whatever, like planning it out and train this monkey how to take children.
That is so dark. So
that if a cop catches it in the act, the monkey will get, you know.
That is really scary. Really, really, really scary.
I swear to God, I'm not fucking joking. That's where my mind went. Maybe it's because I have children. Like,
right.
Think of the most evil thing you could do is like that. But
so let me ask you this: being a father, if a monkey tried to take one of your kids when they were little, and you caught up to the monkey, would you just grab your kid and run back, or would you attack the monkey?
It depends which kid.
That's a great answer.
No,
it's a great answer.
No, I would kill the monkey.
You would?
I'd kill the monkey. I know, oh, those things are fucking strong and da-da-da. Like, if I was able to get my hands on it, I would fucking strangle it to death. Because here's why. Not even because of my own anger or fear as to what just happened, that it tried to run off with a child. I wouldn't want my child to grow up thinking that thing is still running around somewhere.
Or that, like, your kid would think that your kid's dad, like, oh, dad got bested by a tiny monkey.
No, not even for that reason, like, but more so to put the fear to death in their head that thing is still running around somewhere. Because anytime they would have a nightmare about it, I would be like, no. Dad ripped that thing's head off with his own bare hands. You guys saw me do that.
I did that for you.
Yeah, I did that for you.
You said the monkeys are trainable, and now I'm thinking I don't need a sex robot. I just need a monkey.
Yeah.
Just fuck a monkey. Can I train a monkey to vacuum?
You know how much cheaper that is?
But it's dangerous because a monkey can, like, just pull my dick right off.
Yeah, but so can a robot if it's like something goes wrong with the wiring, or, you know what I mean?
They're going to have to work out those kinks before I buy one.
Like, I had the Wi-Fi guys out here like 6 times since I got new Wi-Fi. Like, you know what I mean? They're going to make a robot that doesn't have any glitches or kinks in it.
They're going to have to really assure people that their dicks won't get torn off. Yeah. I'll take it.
To train the monkey properly. maybe a little more time consuming, but way lighter in the pocket.
Fair. You enjoying this heat wave?
No, not at all.
It's like 90 degrees the last few days here, and it really makes this thing a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a fan of the darker, cooler weather. You know,
Best time of year here is the rainy
I
season.
can't wait for it to get hot out. I can't. Why? It's fucking like that 362 days a year. Like the fucking 1 week that we get that's like dark and cold. I like it.
That 1 week in February
Yeah.
where everything's just great.
It's gray and cool out.
Have you talked to any of your family back east the last couple of days? They're getting a blizzard tonight.
I know, it's fucking insane. Glad I'm not there.
It's so weird. Early May, teen temperatures and a blizzard on the East Coast.
Yeah, I've been and this is kind of a bummer not to bring it up on a comedy radio program. Like I've had like 15 people that I know personally from New York that are no longer with us.
15?
Not people that I keep in touch with.
No, but that you know who they are.
People I grew up with, I will see on Facebook. Oh my God, this person passed away. Oh my God. 75% of them are related to this thing that's going on, and the other are, it's dicey whether it was or wasn't. So, yeah, it's fucking crazy.
Dude, I didn't know that. Last time you and I talked about
12.
that.
Maybe I'm exaggerating. 12.
But still, last time you and I talked about this maybe a week and a half ago, and it was 2.
Yeah,
2 people.
What has happened? There was one day where it was like 5 different people, like, holy shit, like on, look, don't get me wrong. Again, these are people that I know that I knew when I was young that I haven't talked to in fucking 30 years. But like, I see on Facebook, oh my God, R.I.P. blah 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 blah. Oh my God, R.I.P. blah blah. Oh, did you hear blah blah blah? Also, like, so it's a lot of that kind of thing. A few people that were close to me, yeah, but
What are the age ranges? Any people that are not elderly?
Most of them were older than me, but the day that I saw like a few in a row were all my age, give or take a year or two.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Now, are you hearing anything that those people...
Oh, yeah, all old.
Yeah, right. Are you hearing anything that they died of other things and they're just calling it...
No, but I know that that's a thing. You know what I mean? Like, I know that there's a ton of, like, it depends upon what school of thought you're coming from here, like who you follow and what news you watch and all that. But I do believe that there's been a rash of doctors that are coming out there saying, we're being told in no uncertain terms that if someone comes in and they have a fever, call it that.
Well, they're incentivized.
Yeah, so it's like, and it's all an insurance thing and a number scam and all that. So, there was a few elderly people that I knew close that passed away, in the last couple of weeks, that they were really elderly. And did they die because they got this thing and a couple of days later they were gone? I don't know. Like, or was it they just got the flu or what? Who knows? You know what I mean? So I'm not informed enough about them personally to know whether it was, see, right there.
We got it.
Now, if you go in and you die tomorrow, they're going to say, coronavirus.
You're right.
Yak up the numbers.
And I'm asthmatic, so I could die of an asthma attack, but they'll just call it COVID-19.
And gay. So it could be Corona AIDS. So there you go.
Every show, you tell me I have AIDS and that I'm gay.
Yeah, but last week I said that I've had it too. Probably was where the weight loss came from. So I throw myself in the mix.
Yeah, you do. You're fair about that. You're equal opportunity. So tell me about why you think Bill Gates is the devil.
It's because it's fun.
Do you really think he's a bad dude?
I think my throat for this one. I think he's a bad dude. I think that there's, this is going on vibe only. There's something I don't trust about him, and there's something endearing that I trust about Elon Musk. That's the difference for me. Have I read a bunch of fucking negative bad press on Bill Gates and shit that he's been into, and like he sets up this, but he don't be fooled because he did this, and then and that's just to cover up that. Yeah, I've read all that stuff, and I've read all the great stuff. Oh, he gives this money, he's he's helping. But I don't know, man. It's like I keep it simple. It's like a football game, right? There's two teams that I'm not really into, but I'm going to pick one or the other from watching the game. And one's the bad guy and one's the good guy. And that's a bad analogy because usually I root for the bad guy to win. But one's the positive and one's the negative, and I pick one that I'm getting the positive vibe, one that I'm like root for them. And then the other ones become like, fuck these fucking people. Even though I don't really care, I could feel like that. Mm-hmm. I don't want to root for Bill Gates, but I would more want to root for if they were in a cage match with Joe Rogan as the announcer.
Of course.
If they were in a fucking UFC fight, I would root for Elon Musk.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I've just heard a lot of bad shit about a lot of dirty dealings and people who present their cases pretty well, not just this, like, yeah, here's the paperwork of this guy doing this, and yeah, he gives these TED Talks, but that's to set up this thing in the future, and blah 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 blah. And I don't know, a guy who changed the world with the internet, and I just got to believe that there's a huge ego power issue there of I'm gonna keep everyone off the streets and on their screens. You know what I mean? I don't know.
It's a good point. I mean, he bankrupted on purpose, which is part of business, but it's a shitty part. He bought and destroyed smaller businesses that were doing similar things to him because he wanted to have the monopoly on Windows and Internet Explorer. Was that the one that was his?
I think so.
I think it was Internet Explorer. So there was other companies that were trying to build a similar thing that he just leveled them so he could be the one. But then someone like Elon, there's a new company that takes his cars and customizes them, and you can have them all done up, and he's all cool with it. He goes, yeah, take my stuff, do whatever you want with it. Just if you get there, cool, go for it.
That's the vibe I'm talking about.
Right.
And like, I just I see through his tricky ways. But I feel like there's a power struggle with that guy that isn't going on with other people. Like, it's the difference between like an inventor / adventurer, new age, and a power hungry, And I've also read other stuff, pretty well documented stuff about Bill Gates that's just not favorable for him about where his money's tied up and and like, he comes out against this, but he's the guy who put up all the money for it in the first place, like shit like that.
Like Indiana Jones and Adolf Hitler were both explorers looking for treasures and all kinds of stuff, but one of them was obviously much more handsome than the other, and one of them was way cooler.
Right, and they definitely wore different hats.
Yeah.
Hat choices were
a bit different.
No, so I just, there's something about that guy that I don't like, personally.
Do you think he has a piece of this disease?
Yes.
Or you do?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And I'm not saying in a conspiracy way that it's him. But there's people in the know and there's people not. And he's a guy who's in the know, and I think he's in the know with a lot of the bad people. You know what I'm saying?
So he's not totally bummed out that this is happening right now.
No, I mean, think about it. He did that whole TED talk where he talks about how it's going to be microbes in the near future that is going to be the weapons of choice and da 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 da. And it was like all for the greater good. And everybody, oh, what a great thing, what an insight, this and that. And now it's happening. And it's, well, I'll create vaccines and let's do microchipping so that we could track this virus so that we know where everyone is at every second of every day. And they do it on the phone, on your fucking location. It's
the mark of the beast.
Yeah, I just, like this guy's talking about making paraplegics walk. And this guy's like, well, we can control shit that's my point.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's where it's coming from. Again, I am no scholar. I am no scientist. I'm basing it just on vibe. And I have a good bullshit detector. And I just think that guy's full of shit a lot more than other people.
The chip talk is pretty crazy. Did you ever read that book, or do you know Behold the Pale Horse?
No, I know the book, but I can't quote it or anything.
My stepdad read it, and when I was like 8 years old, he was telling me, he goes, Dan, someday, someone might try to put some kind of computer in your body, like a microchip. Don't let it happen. Like that's the last thing that we'll give away before we're enslaved by the government. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, now you're begging for it.
I just want a peanut butter and jelly. Can we not talk about this?
Yeah, but think of what it did to you. Now you're rebelling against his words because you're like, I want a robot. I want to be microchipped in there. I want a skull thing in my head.
I never said I wasn't a sheep. I'm a total sheep.
Yeah, I'm just, I love to think conspiracy thinking anyway. Even if I don't believe half of it, I like to think that it's really happening. And I'm always my conspiracy thinking is always like, I guess as a writer minded person, is if you can think it, someone's doing it. And if I can think fucked up shit of what this guy might be doing, he could be doing it. Do you know what I mean?
Of course.
There's nothing in other people who are innovators, who are pioneers. A lot of times there's nothing in their verbiage or seemingly in their motivation that tips the hat to this could be used for evil type of thing. And I've seen it with that guy in a lot of the things he says and tries to create. That's why I think, fuck it.
Okay, I'm sold. I hate Bill Gates.
Yeah.
You got me. We'll do like a listener question and get the fuck out of here.
I'm a Mac guy.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Do you judge people? Like if someone texts you and you get the green bubble?
Oh yeah. 100.
Like who is this fucking loser?
Yeah. You can't even give the thumbs up to just answer.
And you're like, how poor are you?
Whatever. I got 2 of those texts today, and I get them sporadically because like one of them is my son's taekwondo teacher, and he's got the green.
Oh.
I'm like, how are you so good with your mind, body, and spirit, but not your electronics?
Yeah. You let that kid teach your son anything?
I know. I'm reconsidering now. But yeah, the green is no good. You have to come up fucking blue on my phone.
Your son is learning green bubble martial arts.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous. It's a shame. How about a Megadeth question? You want a Megadeth question? We're asked, can I please ask, what is the better Megadeth album out of Peace Cells and Rust in Peace? The reason I picked those 2 is because the lineup changes. Thanks.
I like both of those albums. I'm personally more of a Peace Cells guy.
Is Hangar 18 on that one?
Hangar 18 is on either Rust in Peace or maybe the album after that.
I thought it was on Peace Cells.
I don't think it is.
Let's look it up. Megadeth albums. It's a good question. Whoa, they don't fuck fucking albums. Holy shit.
No, it's Wake Up Dead, The Conjuring, Peace Sells, Devil's Island, Good Morning, Black Friday, Bad Omen, I Ain't Superstitious, My Last Words.
Okay. Peace Sells, Rust in Peace. Okay, it's on Rust in Peace.
Okay, so yeah, it's Rust in Peace. I love that album too, don't get me wrong. But I'm more of a Peace Sells guy just because Peace Sells came out when I was in high school.
Mm-hmm.
And I listened to that album like every day for a couple of years. And that was like videos were new and exciting, and on MTV actually played music back then. And it was there was like a few, there was like your Metallica and your Megadeth, and then there was like Slayer and
Pantera.
Even Pantera was later for me though.
Oh, really?
Later.
Okay.
It was later than that album. But wait, what year did that album?
86 was Peace Sells.
Peace Sells. I was 16. So
I was 6.
Yeah, so when that album came out and I'm 16 years old, cassette in the car, the track listing's worn out from handling it so much. Little fucking cassette thing. So yeah, to me that's the better album, but they're both arguably awesome as far as that band goes.
I got in on Countdown to Extinction because I was 12 when that came out, and that's what got me into Megadeth, and I worked backwards.
Yeah.
Good stuff on there.
This album is great too.
Which one's that? Killing Is My Business. They had some of the best names of all time.
Rattlehead on that album was a song that I fucking listened to like 400 times a day. Guitar's so great. Play that for a second. Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
Killing Is My Business, and Business is Good. Peace Sells, but who's buying? And So Far, So Good, So What?
Yeah, So Far, So Good, So What's good too.
I know that one.
Anyway.
Euthanasia. All right.
And These Boots Are Made for Walking cover is on the So Far, So... No, on the first album.
It is?
Is My Business.
Oh, yeah.
Which is a cover of a Nancy Sinatra song, and their version is great.
Did we argue before about who has better album covers, Maiden or Megadeth?
We didn't, but I would 100% hands down Iron Maiden, I think.
Man, I like Vic a lot.
Yeah, but Eddie came first, so Vic is a inspired by Eddie.
Friendster came first of all those things, but it's not the best one.
Yeah, but in this case, it is.
Okay. Just based on album titles, we're talking. I mean, not album covers.
Yeah, just the artwork you're talking about. Derek Riggs.
Okay, who did Vic?
All right, so listen, I don't know who did Vic, but Derek Riggs, the guy who does all the Iron Maiden stuff, a couple of years ago, I posted it on Instagram if you want to go look, whatever. My son wanted to go to some Comic-Con type thing downtown. I don't even remember where it was. Somewhere downtown.
Because of anime, obviously.
Oh, just fucking whatever. Games, Nintendo, like all I don't even know if it was a Comic-Con. I think it was. I don't remember what. It was some con. And there's a bunch of kids like him, like all, geeky losers. That
I'm with them. I'm playing so many video games.
No, it was just a bunch of gamers and all that kind of stuff. And him and a bunch of his friends went. And all of a sudden, I see a bunch of Eddie stuff. And I've been so obsessed with the artwork on those albums for so many years that there used to be a picture of Derek Riggs, the artist who does those, who's like not a rock guy and he's not like a friend of Iron Maiden. He's an artist that was hired by the manager to create these things. And
it was like Pusshead from Metallica.
Yeah. So, I see these Iron Maiden little movies, and I'm like, oh, what's that? They're selling Iron Maiden shit. I was like, hang on, I'll be right back. And I see a guy sitting there, and on one of the albums when I was a kid, there's a picture of Derek Riggs like this or whatever in a little collage.
Do it again.
He's got like a pen, and he's like you know, and it's in a collage of a bunch of the Maiden guys, you know, drinking beers and headbanging on stage and whatever. But so I knew what he looked like as a young man anyway, because back then you went out and bought an album and you opened the sleeve and you looked at the liner notes and you read who they
read along, of course.
Yeah, you read the lyrics and you looked at, you examined every little inch, especially those albums, because there were lots of little hidden things in the drawing.
The albums were just as interesting as the records themselves.
Yes. In fact, the first album that I ever bought that was theirs, which was their first album, I had no idea what music was in it. I bought it because the cover was so cool.
Mm-hmm.
So I see this guy sitting there signing shit, and I'm like, and I recognize he's way older now, a few pounds heavier, but it's him. And I'm like, I don't know where to go next. I'm like, fuck the kids. Like, I don't care if they get kidnapped right now. If a monkey drags them away on a fucking motorcycle. I'm like, so I go over, and there's like no one there, like one other person. And I see like he's selling shit, signing it. I end up talking to him. I tell him, hey, just so you know, the first album that I ever bought was because he's like, oh, I get that all the time. Like, he was cool about it. He wasn't like, I get that all the time, you dick. You know, he signed a bunch of shit for the kids that they have, like Eddies that were pencil drawn from him. And he signed them, and the kids have them framed in their rooms. I have one. And he has a really great book. You can get it on his website or Amazon with a bunch of other art shit that he does in there too. And he signed the book for me. And then I talked to him a bunch and got his contact information, and I was trying to get him on Dark Matter. And he was gonna do it. He was just like, I just don't have the time because I'm traveling all over at these conventions, because that's how he makes a lot of money. And so yeah, I could reach out again when we get back in the studio. But he was such a fucking cool guy, such an interesting guy, and I was like totally banding out on.
Why don't we should have him as a Zoom guest, dude?
Yeah. Oh yeah, maybe I'll reach out. His wife,
that'd be a good one.
All of his management stuff, and I went back and forth with her a bunch, and we were trying to figure out a date because he's not local in LA.
Okay.
But
do you know if he has all the originals, or have they been given away to the bands, or how?
I don't know. I'm sure he does, but I don't know.
How cool would that be to see those up close?
Yeah, it's fucking awesome.
All right. I think we've done our part. What?
Wait, in fact, Dave Kushner, who's been on our show before, or
one of my favorite people in the whole world.
One of my favorite people in the whole world too. He played guitar for Velvet Revolver and many other bands. He does a lot of scoring for TV shows. He's a great guy, awesome guy. He commented on the like, oh my, no, you didn't. Oh fuck, he's like the Derek Riggs guy too. And I got a book signed for him. So.
You guys listening don't know this. Todd is truly one of the most thoughtful gift givers that I've ever met in my life. You really are. I'm sure you know that. But like you...
Especially when I give you the gift of my cock.
Oh my God. It's got warm. Woo! Right, go ahead. Go ahead. Continue with your praise. No, but you're one of those people that it doesn't need to be a holiday or a birthday. If you see something that you think someone would appreciate, you'll get it. And it's very kind. I wish I had more of that. I don't even get,
thank you.
Like Sunday is Mother's Day, and I'm not doing anything for my mother. And I love her. She's great. But I don't get things for people's birthdays.
Dude, I started preparing months ago.
Well, you have to. If my wife was a mother, I would probably do something. But like for my own mother, I'm not going to give her a card. I'll call her, and she's lucky she's getting a call.
It's funny because I'll give her stuff my wife that she's mentioned. Like, oh, that's nice.
A new husband.
And then I mark it in my brain, and then she forgets about it, and then I get it, and then she's like, "Oh my God, I totally forgot about this." I'm like, "I know." So
the good news is that buys you more years in your marriage. But the bad news is it buys you more years in your marriage.
Exactly. Double-edged sword.
It really is.
100%. But
do you have plans? Like, what's Mother's Day like this year?
I already got a bunch of like food that I'm gonna cook for lunch, and I have a delivery all set up of a bunch of dinner stuff that she wants, and like some gifts that are gonna come, and things like that. When I say gifts that are gonna come, I mean men that are gonna come for her.
I meant to ask, what time do you want me there?
I said men.
Fucking A. I guess I walked right into it.
So, but yeah, it's gonna be fucked up because usually like we would go out, but
right.
I bought like 6 lawn chairs, like nice ones, and a couple of umbrellas that you could spike into the lawn, and a few of her friends are gonna come by and like they'll be 6 feet apart, like a fucking stupid thing.
That's a good idea.
There's also Mother's Day. This is divulging her own personal information, but her birthday is the same day.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. So I get lucky because I don't have to do 2 fucking days.
It's like when friends have birthdays on Christmas.
Yeah, I already gave her big birthday present because this is where I'm the worst. If I get someone a gift, I don't see the point in me keeping it until like their day, their actual birthday, or we're having a birthday dinner. Oh, I'll save it. I've had it for 2 weeks. Like, why shouldn't they be enjoying it this whole time when it's just sitting in my fucking closet or something? Do you know what I mean?
I got you a dozen eggs a month ago.
No. So I got her a nice gift that I know that she wanted, which I won't divulge here, but I got her a really nice gift that I know she wanted. It was not so easy to track down, and I got it. But I got it like 3 weeks ago, thinking that it was going to be delayed because of the state of the world, because of where it came from. And it came like 2 days later. So then that night, I'm just laying there and I'm like, you want your gift? She's like, I hate when you do that. Why did you? And I'm like, all right, no, I'll wait until you're ready. And she's like, well, now that you said it, I know. She's like, I know. I'm like, oh, okay, I won't. It's a game we play. Like, I won't give it to you. I won't mention it. Wait 10 minutes. What is it? No, you said you didn't want it. Like, so we do that whole fucking thing. And I give it to her, and so she's had her big birthday already.
Thoughtful Todd. That's what you are.
But Dan, you've had moments of thoughtfulness that through the surface of your selfish ways.
It's true, but if I've ever gotten you a gift, it's only because you've gotten me one, and I feel like a dick if I don't give something back.
Right. That's kind of the same reason why I do the radio stuff.
Right. This is like this show has become for me like
give me that cough.
Like my Make-A-Wish, even though I'm not dying.
Well, you could look at it as you are. I mean, we are all dying.
True.
True. Every morning we wake up, we're one day closer to death.
If you want to even break it down,
everybody,
we're closer.
Every second. As soon as you're born, you're busy dying.
You're dying.
Yeah. Think about that, Elon Musk.
And on that note.
All right. On that note, we should end it.
Yeah, I think we should.
All right.
Because, you know, some people listening to this might be the last show they ever listen to because they might die.
That's right.
You know, so enjoy it, everybody.
And let us know if that happens. Write it out on a note somewhere. If I die before next week, please let the guys on Rareform Radio know I die. Just so we know the information that actually happened.
Yeah, let us know on Instagram if you've heard this show and if it was a suitable last show for you, please.
Yeah. I feel like we weren't very on the funny side tonight. We were very serious.
It's okay. It's all right. We did a banger earlier in the week that was fantastic. This one is more like a little bit more reflective, a little bit more adult. I know. Maybe we'll just delete it.
Dan, where can people find us that aren't listening to this show?
Good question, Thoughtful Todd. It's Instagram, Twitter, @rareformradio. We uploaded a new shirt today. Just a simple Rareform Radio shirt. We got more stuff coming. We have the Lips logo that's coming very, very soon.
That's the one that I'm excited about.
I know.
And I want.
It's coming.
That, and I want part of that. Because I really don't wear anything I have to do with.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
But I would wear that. I love that logo so much. I would wear that.
It's fantastic. So Steve Isaacs created that, and he's working on that now. So you can buy some shirts and mugs and phone covers at rareformradio.threadless.com. And if you haven't yet, please subscribe on iTunes and leave us a review, and it helps us greatly. And we're on YouTube now. Yeah. What? Yep. So find us on YouTube. Enjoy the show, and we'll be back in 2 days.
We'll see about it.
No, we'll be back next week.
Yeah, next week.
And I think I'm pretty sure that Frank is joining us next week.
Yeah, I thought he was supposed to join us tonight. What the fuck happened to that?
You know, just tending to that Milagro bean field.
Did I was I incorrect in what let me start again.
Okay.
Did I read that text chain correctly the other day when you said, "Hey, if you want to come on," da, 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 and he said, yeah, explain that. So I didn't read it incorrectly. Because to me, I didn't even notice I didn't chime in, even though I'm on the chain, which is par for the course with me.
It's new Todd. New Todd doesn't respond to anything. New Todd's just like, you're lucky if you get a thumbs up double tap.
Well, you know what? I'm having a hard time responding now because now that I'm home all the time, I put my phone down like on the banister and I go look at it 4 hours later.
Right.
Like when I'm out in the world, I have it at my hip all the time, you know?
So, okay. So Wednesday we had a chat. This is like a rare form chat that we have with the three of us. And I said, are you guys able to do a show tomorrow? This is Wednesday.
Right.
And Frank says, I may sit this one out just so I can edit the show tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm scared I'll fall behind. But definitely would be happy to join on Zoom. You guys have a good flow, considering it's all done remotely. That's what we were talking about.
Right. So my understanding is that he assumed, even though the shows that he's been seeing and editing,
I didn't even think about that part.
Yeah, he assumes that we're in the studio doing this and that we were inviting him to the studio in the middle of a pandemic, that a studio that he knows we're not allowed to go into.
Yes.
But I can't make it. But if you guys Zoom, I will.
So basically what he's saying, I cannot make it to your Zoom show, but I could Zoom into your show. That's basically what, if you want to break it down. Yeah, so that really happened.
And then we were going to do a show yesterday, and I'll take the credit for flailing because I told Dan,
that's great.
I'll let you know like noontime or whatever, because I had like other things pending, and I didn't know if the kids were going to need to leave the house at a certain time.
Granted, you have more responsibilities than I do.
Yeah. So I was like, I'll let you know tomorrow. And then you text me like 8, and you're like, so I assume no show tonight? I'm like, yeah, no show. I was like, but I did say I have no excuse. I simply just forgot to call.
Uh-huh.
And it was just, I've been having a hairy couple of days just with family stuff. And not bad, but like, you know, sometimes it gets to the point where it's like, you know,
yeah,
I got to take the kids out of the house and drive them around before fucking someone kills them. You know,
right.
That kind of shit.
And I totally understand that.
And that was one of those. Anyway, So, all right, Dan. Well, thank you very much.
Thank you, Todd.
Spending this time.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll see. In a couple of days, we'll do this again. Not sure.
I just hope that you stay safe, buddy.
All right.
Just stay safe. Stay safe.
I'm done. Bye.
Just stay safe, buddy. Todd, I just want you to, I know you walked away, but I just want you to stay safe and just take care of yourself and your family, and hope you guys are hanging in there. How you guys doing? Todd? How you guys doing? Doing all right?
You done?
I just want you to stay safe, pal.
You remember that I'm also recording. I'm gonna just cut it off.
Go ahead. I'm gonna keep recording. Just stay safe, Todd.
Bye.
Stay safe.
Bye.
Stay safe. I can still see.
Stop recording.
All right, stay safe.
This is Lola, and I'm here to tell the world to stop being such pussies and listen to Rare Form Radio.